Hello there. Welcome to this week's bi-weekly session of the Nigeria M365 community. This is a bi-weekly session, deep dive, and we are starting with our Copilot series. The last bi-weekly session, deep dives, were focused on the Microsoft Intune system of applications of managing devices, applications, and also enterprise mobility and security part of Microsoft 365. We are commencing with the Copilot series this time around. This is expected to run through the next 3 months. So I welcome you once again to the Nigeria M365 community bi-weekly deep dive sessions. My name is Aisha Oshilaye, and I'm glad to be here. Yes, this is the Microsoft 365 deep dive session, which comes off bi-weekly. Like I mentioned before, we are starting with Microsoft Copilot. We will be going through Microsoft Copilot for the next 3 months. And for today, being the maiden edition of the deep dive Microsoft Copilot series, we'll be having our MVP kickstarting these sessions with us today. So I want to welcome you once again, wherever you're joining us from. And this promises to be a very, very impactful learning experience for all of us. Thank you very much for joining us once again. Like I mentioned before, my name is Aisha Oshilaye. I'm just here, and I'm also the versatile tech professional with rich background in media. And my journey into technology was sparked actually by curiosity, like just this drive to learn and to know things, just wanting to acquire knowledge, especially with regards to technology. So I love to empower the digital workspaces of individuals and organizations. And my specialty is mostly in Microsoft 365, administration, Azure, and also every other thing that deals with helping organizations or individuals collaborate productively. Thank you very much. This is just me. And today we will be kickstarting the Copilot series with Paul Ogboriefor, a Microsoft MVP in many folds, in Copilot, in Azure, in Microsoft 365. This is a very, very versatile individual, a versatile professional that you would always want to hear speak. So this is Paul Ogboriefor. He's a committed product as well. He's a product of the Nigerian 365 community. He's a cloud and platform engineer at a renowned technology company that partners with Microsoft. He's a 2 times Microsoft Most Valuable Professional who has been recognized in the Microsoft Copilot and Azure Compute Infrastructure Award categories. So just listening to just these few lines, you would agree with me that this is the right person for this job. Over the next couple of weeks, Paul will be taking us through Microsoft Copilot, and we'll be learning a lot from him. Right. So he was previously recognized as a Microsoft 365 MVP, and over time, he has actually demonstrated his knowledge, his passion through different ways of contributing across the Microsoft ecosystem. In his professional role, he oversees both cloud and on-premises infrastructure for internal platforms and customer environments. He's been helping organizations modernize their infrastructure, also accelerate cloud adoption, also building secure, scalable, and resilient solutions. Beyond his day's job, he's a community leader. He's passionate about giving back to the Microsoft community. And also as an active contributor to the Microsoft 365 community, he regularly shares practical knowledge, he mentors aspiring professionals, and also delivers technical sessions that help individuals and organizations maximize the value of Microsoft technologies. He believes that strong communities are built by professionals who are committed to sharing their knowledge and lifting others. And that is just what we are about in the Microsoft 365 community here in Nigeria. Our belief, our passion is about building strong communities of professionals who are passionate, who are committed to sharing their knowledge, lifting others, and building up the next crop of tech professionals in Nigeria. So I want to welcome Paul Ogboriefor. He's a very, very valuable professional, very valuable tool of the Nigeria, also a product of the Nigeria M365 community. And over time, he has always been lending his voice, lending his skills to the growth and to all their activities of the Nigeria M365 community. Please, I want you all to please jam your hands together and welcome and encourage our MVP, Paul Ogboriefor, as he kickstarts the Microsoft Copilot series with us. But before we move on, let me just run us through a couple of things before I usher Paul into the stage. I hope I've done a good job in introducing Paul. All right, just a few housekeeping rules before we proceed into the session proper. This session will be recorded and will be made available on our YouTube, the Nigerian 365 YouTube channel. We will be sharing some of these links as we proceed. And in the event that your microphone is on, you can please just keep it muted. You can disable it so that if you're not talking, so that we won't be having some interruptions while the session is going on. You can pen down your questions on the Q&A session. You can also drop them in the chat area, and we will be sure to attend to them when they at the right time. All right, you can follow us on all our socials. We have the Nigerian 365 community on Twitter or X. We have a YouTube channel that is like a repository of very valuable content as far as Microsoft 365 is concerned, for all of our deep dives, for all of our mentorship programs, anything you can think of. That is a very powerful powerhouse of knowledge right there. You can always visit there to learn anything you would want to learn as far as Microsoft 365 is concerned. All right, this is our feedback link. You can just reach out to us on this link, rebrand.ly/ngn365 feedback. So give us your feedback, share your feedback as to how we are doing, what we can do better, what we're not doing enough of, and how we can improve to serve you better. Thank you very much. And here I would like to also for you to connect with us. We have a WhatsApp community, but it's not big enough to accommodate us. So we have the Discord channel, which I'll be sharing the links as well. You can join us there, connect with us on all our socials. We have a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn page, we have a YouTube channel, X, and all of that. You can all connect with us so that you can keep we can keep you updated on any of our coming production of products or any of our coming activities that can benefit us. So thank you very much. And I will be ushering in Paul right now. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much, Aisha. It's, you got me off my feet. I wasn't really sure again if it was me you were introducing. Anyways, thank you very much. So I would love to use this moment to thank each and every one of us that are here already on Copilot series, Microsoft Copilot to be precise. I promise you, and I can assure you that it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth your time. It's going to be something that you would hold there as time progresses, as you'll be going deeper and deeper into it gradually. You know, because it's a bi-weekly session, we'll just be taking this gradually, and God so kind, we have time to actually deal with a whole lot already. So yeah, permits me to open my presentation slide. Okay, I think I can use this. All right, so here we are. Again, we are looking at Microsoft 365 Copilot. My people would say that if you want to climb up the tree, you do not start from halfway, neither do you want to start from the very top. You would have to start from the bottom and climb gradually till you get to the top. And so, in that sense, we will be starting with the very basic, which is Introduction to Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what is this? What is it for? You probably have heard it before. You probably have made use of it before. Uh, you probably have been using Microsoft tools. So should this be exceptional? Why should this be, really different? Don't worry, we will get a catch as we go on, right? So if we want to talk about Microsoft 365 Copilot, in this regard, we will treat it as a gentle, calm, productive friend and assistant, that can help us do a lot within our Microsoft 365 environment. I believe that a lot of us by this time must have had our testing environment to probably maybe do not have access to Copilot license yet. However, I can assure you that you can still do a lot even without the license, right? Just by the basic that you have been offered, especially for those of us that are coming from the community and that have access to the community tenants, right? So, in essence, let us just go into it and see what our pathway looks like today. So, this is the flow that we are going to follow. The first thing we will do is to try to define what Copilot actually is, how it works. Then we'll do some kind of exploration to, share some kind of experience and where users interact with it, right? And then we'll just look into what we know as grounding. Yeah, because we know that grounding determines where AI generally get their information from. That is the source, right? In this case, we'll be talking about work and web. I know that a lot of us are already used to ChatGPT. I think that is the most obvious one. And we go quickly to just make some research. I wouldn't be surprised if it's also new to us that we don't actually know the source where those responses that ChatGPT is giving us back are coming from. They're actually grounded, they're actually called grounding, right? So they are grounded somewhere and then they retrieve the information from that particular place and then it returns back to you. But we'll be treating this in the light with what Microsoft 365 Copilot is. Then we'll definitely talk about prompts because, yeah, sometimes we aim to get some good results. At the end of the day, we feel disappointed. We are not getting exactly what we are expecting. Sometimes we feel, oh, you could even do better. Okay, sometimes you just feel, okay, let me just get the idea and then I'll finish it up. Meanwhile, your friend, your assistant can actually do it all for you. All you need is the prompt to be stronger, right? So we'll talk about prompt. we'll talk about adoption. Yeah. So knowing it is not just enough. Would also consider security. You consider how ready you are, the responsibility of the assistant and your own responsibility in terms of using it. So all of this will put into consideration. The outcome will be, we would explain what Copilot is clearly, choose the right grounding, you prompt better, you review the output responsibly. So what is Microsoft 365 Copilot? This is the question. And the answer is as simple as an AI assistant that is embedded into the Microsoft 365 work experience. Just simple and short. What do I mean? You have your environment existing already. All that is needed is just an addition of a friend who already knows the environment by what we call Graph API. So because it is introduced, it understands the environment, it is now embedded in that environment to help you and support you with your work within the environment. They make life easy for you. Tasks that would ideally take you hours upon hours will now be taking probably few minutes, right? And then before you know it, you get things done very easy and better. Okay, so some of the easy things, general things that we often go around seeking support of, some kind of generic AI assistants that are out there are, to summarize thoughts. For example, you want to respond to an email. Probably, let's say you apply for a job somewhere, and then they respond to say, okay, they are requesting for certain things for you. You quickly copy the whole of the email, you take it to ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and you say, please let me respond. It will give you a response. You say, no, 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 let me polish it this way, let me do it the other way, right? Now, this one as well can help you summarize your email, can make you understand your email and whatsoever. It can even summarize your meetings, goes into your calendar, check where you have meetings, check when there is clashes, and the rest of it. Then it can also summarize your document, your chat, anything, right? It can as well draft messages for you, draft reports, plans, proposals, and then, yeah, we'll now want to talk. If you now want to talk about the reasoning, where it should go, how it should work, the task it should perform. Now, this one now will now have to be a particular thing at a particular time. You have to decide, and then you give it the necessary information that it will require is to, think, reason, and then perform those tasks for you. You can as well create documents for you, right? I did not create this particular presentation slides from scratch. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that my manual inputs in this presentation slide is probably a review and maybe one or two adjustments. It literally took me less than 20 minutes to put all of this together, right? So that's part of Microsoft Copilot in M365 environment. It just helps you get work done easier and faster. So now, why Copilot stands out? Why does it really stand out? What makes it different is not just about the generative text that you get from out there. Now, if you now want to talk about Microsoft 365, yes, it can generate text as every other generative AI can. But then the value that this one is bringing in addition to, probably just creating text is that connection it has with your environment to start with. Now, it knows people that you work with. It doesn't need to just start assuming. You know, if you use generative AI a lot, it does a lot of assumption for you. But this one now, it knows the people that you are already working with. It supports, I mean, it knows the documents that are in your environment that you can work with, right? It is, enterprise ready. That is what we are trying to say in essence. It can read through your emails, your meetings, anything at all that you have in your environment. But the one thing is very important. It also work with permission, right? Now, if you see here, you see that there is a security boundary. If you come here, you see this guy, a security boundary. That is one of the most important aspects of using Microsoft Copilot. Now, what security boundary means is as much as it can read through your emails, as much as it can read through your Teams, your documents, it can only read through because you have access to those documents. It's not like it has its own brain on its own to actually use it or use it to ground itself or to serve other people. No. So its grounding is within the access that you have. If you do not have an access to a particular document, then your Copilot as well do not have access to that document. If you go to your ChatGPT and then let's say I go to mine and I say, tell me about myself, you'll be able to say Paul Ogboriefor is this, and that. Another person. So because I have supplied the ChatGPT those information over time, it uses it to ground itself. And it can actually be a form of security breach in the sense that other people may just be able to find information about you online. However, if you are checking about other people online, what those generative AI will mostly do for you is to go to the general public and then check for their profile, let's say Facebook profile, Instagram profile, and all of that, and then give you responses based on what it can quickly reach. But if you come to my organization and ask about me, it's going to give you my name, what I do, my roles, my responsibility, and what have you, just within the organization. So that security boundary is there. It doesn't like say now is the name of a person, animal, place, or things. If myself try to change that definition, another person try to change the definition that aligns with mine, other generative AI may just have it in that sense. And when another person asks, it will now give it that definition that we have just, give it to it. In this sense now, it has built itself based on the information that the people using it are supplied to it. But for Copilot, it is not like that. It works with what it only has access to, right? So we talk about flow of work. It works inside the apps where work already happens. So this one now, if you go to Word, if you go to, we'll do this, I think, in our next session. If you go to Word, if you go to PowerPoint, you can just send the prompt and before your very eyes, it will help you to generate whatsoever you are, asking it to generate for you. Then reviewable, it is also very important to know that Copilot is not fully responsible for your final output, right? What it helps you do is it gives you a heads up. It helps you start an idea. It generates a suitable response for you. However, it is not a kind of perfect set that will just fit into what is being required. So it is also very important, as much as we trust it, it's also very important that you read through properly. You read through, you try to understand it, and if there are needs, you make some tweaking before you confirm your output to be correct and accurate. Then you can, share as required of you. So that is the human intervention that is required when you are using Microsoft Copilot. Then the Microsoft 365 Copilot experience. It is connected place. It is one connected place for chat creation, page, and agent. Say it anyhow, but this is how the usage goes. The first thing you need to do is to chat. Yes, you have to tell it, hey, bro, hey, guy, I want to carry out XYZ. Then you to now say, okay, go ahead. What can I do for you? What should I do for you? You just interact with it. Then the second thing you can do is to create, hey, help me create this from this, right? And then I know this is very theory, right? Hopefully our next session will get to see how, although we'll still do a bit of, practical today, but we'll see more of this creation in our coming session. Then we have files and library, just work related content, uh, pages. Now, Copilot. Copilot has done some stuff recently, their upgrade. They now have what we call pages. Now, what pages do is maybe you are using just the normal Copilot 365 chat. Um, okay, as we move further, we'll see more of this. If you are using Copilot 365 chat, you can actually send a prompt. Maybe we are working on a project together, right? And let's say we are working remotely and we need to actually get the work done. You know what we call co-authoring, for example, where a file that is shared online is being worked on by multiple people, right? The same way we can be chatting, I can be texting with Copilot, and along the line, I feel like, okay, this information may be useful to you that is working on me on this project. What I can just easily do is to convert that particular chart into a page, right? If I convert it into a page, I'll share it with you. Now it becomes a workspace. You can interact with it from there, and myself can interact with it from there, and you yourself will be able to see it, right? Now, we now come to agents. Agents. This, I think, we'll probably treat last. Agents, oh my God. If you want to describe agents, I think for some of us that watch American movies, they'll tell you Agent A, Agent B, especially in either assassin or in police or whatsoever, these forces, right? Now, agents, these real agents, human agents, I mean to say now, are actually meant to perform a task for you, right? They do what you ask them to do. So now what agents in Copilot do is it's it is built. You can build your own custom agent. There are pre-built agents that Microsoft Copilot has given to every user, especially for those that have the license, right? Now they are built to perform a particular task for you. For example, I have built an agent that help with creation of user and disabling of users' accounts. Now, let me just give you a walkthrough of what my agent does. I built it, right? Now, just with you supplying few names or few details of a particular user, or by just uploading an Excel sheet containing few details of a particular user, it creates the user, give the user a license, add the user to a group. Uh, it chat does a lot of things. But now, if we talk about onboarding a user, it only requires a user's UPN. Just imagine you want to onboard the user. You can go to your WhatsApp. Let's say I integrated it with WhatsApp because you can actually integrate it in different platforms, right? But in my own case, I think I integrated mine with Copilot Chat and Microsoft Teams. Just imagine you as an HR going home and then somebody is resigning from your organization. You need to prepare documentation, files of that user. Then you send a mail to IT team. IT will now go ahead to start removing the user. In a lot of time, we skip some processes, right? But in this case now, you just enter the user's principal name, that is UPN, right? When you enter the UPN of the user, the agent will just run, right? It has an engine actually. It will run. It will disable the user's account. It will retrieve. It will first of all, after disabling the user's account, it will remove the user from every group they belong to. It retrieves their licenses. It archives their OneDrive and give delegation of that OneDrive to their manager. In the case of no manager, it gives the delegation to the IT boss, and then relevant email is sent across just like an input of a UPN. So while going the boss, will just send the UPN, and then an approval will be routed to the relevant people who are meant to approve. But PHRO has performed its task, and upon approval, every other thing will just run like that seamlessly. That is what it is built to do. That is what I call a personalized agent, right? Again, for or custom agent rather, for these ones, you can see there is a researcher here, there is analyst here. These are the two most common agents that Microsoft has built. Now, researcher will help you make research, like deep, detailed research of whatsoever you want to do. All you just need to do is to structure your prompt. Mind you, it also has what we call prompts. There's an agent that is called the prompt coach. Yeah, prompt coach. That one, you will interact with it and it will help you build a very good prompt, and then even help you on building prompt, right? So those are some things that agent does. Now, analysis, it helps you analyze whatsoever you supply to it, and then it gives you accurate answers. It is well grounded in doing that, and it is specially built for those tasks. So there are specialized assistants that help you perform a particular task, right? So yeah, you can basically start with question and then you end with a work ready asset. Now, I know I've talked about license a bit, right? Now, let me just go into it more. You now want to talk about access. Experience differs from users based on their license. What you may see in an environment may differ from what I'll be privileged to see because I have license and you do not have license. Now, the fact that some people will have full Microsoft 365 Copilot license, then others do not have. It basically just affects the feature and the access to certain or lack of access to certain Copilot pre-built agents. Now, for Copilot Chat / Microsoft 365 subscription, this is what for every, it is also worthy of note that every user with an eligible license, whether it's business standard, whether it's business premium, whether it's whatsoever license that you are using, you have access to Copilot Chat. Now, what is Copilot Chat? Copilot Chat, you can just treat it as a generative AI as well, right? As much as it has access to your work environment in some cases, or you can actually do a copy paste or something, but it does not actually have that direct integration to your full working environments to perform to perform some kind of advanced task. Let me put it that way, that a licensed user can, perform. Yes, the grounding is purely web grounded assistance, and then some agents may be available. Some SFRCs on some, a lot will not be available to you. And then, yeah, of course, if we now come to the license environment, I think I will have to show us this as we go on today when we want to go into demo. The license environment has a kind of different experience. You have a lot of you have access to a lot of agents that are pre-built. Then it can work based and then web grounded chat, right? It is richer in terms of using it in applications, Microsoft productivity application, right? You can do a lot. And then you can access Copilot Studio, you create your agent. You can actually do a lot more when you have Microsoft Copilot license, right? So just by signing in, you should be able to tell which is which and which is not. Now, we just talked about access to Copilot charts, and then we talked about access to advanced Copilot experiences based on licensing. Now, let's see what Copilot chart is and what Microsoft 365 Copilot is. So these are the difference. I think I'll be mixing them up somehow, right? So for this, it's just a chart. For this, it is Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, now you see here is just a conversation surface. This now is a productivity experience, and these are what they are best for. Now, anything that this can do, hmm, anything that this can do even more beyond this imagination, and it works across every other app and services that Microsoft offer. Okay, we've been talking about work and web as well. Let's see the differences. Now, for work, let's even talk about the grounding first. I know we've talked about it briefly. Grounding, in simple terms, we can say is the source where Copilot used to produce answers or perform tasks. It's just simple. Now, in Microsoft Copilot, when you sign in to a licensed account, you will see work and then you will see web. When you choose the work aspect of Copilot, that means you are saying it should be grounding on your work related files and events, right? Now, when you choose it, Copilot will use your work content that you already have permission to access. I emphasis on what? Permission. Now, this permission or the contents can be files, it can be emails, it can be teams, that is Teams chat, I mean to say, it can even be people, that is people that you're working together with the same environment. It can be meetings. It does depend, even admin can actually decide to make some adjustments in settings, even if you have the Microsoft Copilot license, right? They can limit you to see some things or having access to some certain things because of, security and permission. Remember, in cloud computing, in Microsoft 365, security is paramount. You must not compromise for anything. So, as much as you pay to get a license, you must not do because you are paying for this license to not compromise security. And that is where administration comes into play. So, depending on how the setting is, you'll be able to access a whole lot. But then when you choose to use the web, right? Now, what Copilot will most likely do is the same thing as what other generative AI does. They make use of the public web information, and I think this now can only be useful or more useful when you need to make a research that is external and based on public facts, right? At this point, is not related to your work. For example, now you want to ask Spain versus Argentina. Yamal and Messi, who does better in the match? Why should Rodri deserve the player of the tournament over Messi? Why should, you want to ask those, people by this time had already made comments about this event, this World Cup of a thing, right? For example. So these comments are online. So when you now want to, just based on public opinions, you now want to make research, I think that is best when you use the web, because you can just go check for what this person has said, check what that person has said, check this, and then do some comparison and contraction, give you what you want, right? And then if you want to just, in a simple term, the rule is as simple as use work for internal work and truth, and then use web for public opinion. Now, why does grounding matter? Why does it matter? You see context, you see relevance, you see trust, you see permission. I will come to this. But you need to first of all take note of this, right? The same prompt can produce different answers depending on the source. Now, if you, okay, just the same way we have you going to the web to say who deserves the Golden Ball Award more in the 2026 tournament. It will go to the internet and then just give you answers based on people's opinion. But you can generate your own opinion to say Mbappe is the best. He should win the player of the tournament. Nothing should happen. This is your reasons, right? Now, if you do that and put it in a writing, for example, you put it in a document, and in your document, you are not arguing the facts. You are stating it as what it should be, right? And then you upload this to your work environment. If you go to your work environment to say who deserve the golden ball of the 2026 World Cup, it will tell you Mbappe deserve it straight and forward and direct. And this is why he deserves it. Based on what you have entered in that document, uploaded to your environment, and then you are referencing that particular document as your grounding, right? It will give you answer based on that. But if you go to the web to say who deserves it, Mr. A might have said Mbappe, Master B might have said Haaland, Masters, different people. Then it will now say, okay, based on so analysis, certain person said this, certain person said that. But if we now put all this together, so number of people said it should go to Messi. So I think it should, it will just give you a kind of response like that is not straightforward based on public opinion, right? There will be a way to just tailor it to make it feel suiting to you, to even want to, kind of romance you to believe what is giving you. So it just gives you the answer straight based on what you are referencing. Again, I say, same prompt you send to the web and to your work environment, different answers you will get. And all of those will be happening because of this source. Now, if you now want to talk about contents, we just talk. Copilot understands the business situation better, right? It knows that, okay, this is the document and this is how the business is running. This is how it should be. So basically, it just, tends to get this, right? Now, like I said, if you are using just the chat, it will just want to romance you to make you believe so. It will actually sound good, right? But it may not match the standard of your business. That's just the obvious fact. Now, maybe your organization now, we are talking about context. Your organization now, your password limit is a 12, right? And generically, a strong password should consist of 8 characters, right? You know that this one now will be peculiar to your organization. This one now is something that is general. It will now tell you a mission. Now, if you now go to chat and say, okay, so what is a strong password? If you say 8 character, it should contain a special character, should contain number, capital letter, what have you. It will give you, it will make it look soothing so that it looks good to you, because it does not even understand what is inside your environment. But if you now come to your environment, we tell you, bro, see, minimum is 12. You must not use your name. You must not use your surname. It must be this complex and that. It will give you, it doesn't really have that bias to say no, because you are not this or you are not that. I should consider this. I should be emotional. No, it doesn't know emotion. It goes, it gives you what is actually right and correct to meet your business need. Now, um, talking about relevance, I think we have explained all of this. Trust. Users can check source, reference, and business meaning. Yes. So if you go to ChatGPT, other generative AI, if you search in your answer, you always see something like one something, then they'll just attach a link for you to go and read through what is there. But for your work, it will actually reference, if it's a document it's referencing or referring to, it will direct you to go and see that particular document. So you can actually read the document to say, okay. Then permission, this cannot be overemphasized. We'll be talking about it. Right. Now, security and permission in simple terms. When we're talking about Microsoft Entra ID, we're talking about authentication and authorization. When you are talking about all of those things, you are actually talking about permission, right? First and foremost, you need to authenticate. And in the process of authenticating, you supply a username. It goes to check if the username even exists in the first place. You say, yes, it exists. You give it the password. Then the password will go and check, does it match with the username? Oh, yes, it goes. Then authorization will now check, okay, now that you are here, what do you have access to? That is the same thing and the same way Copilot permission and security works. Now, identity is who signed in. The permission is what can you even open? Talking about authorization now. This is authentication. Now, sensitivity. Now, should the content be protected? That is it. Now, for those of us that use Microsoft Microsoft a lot, you see there are what we call sensitivity labels. So you can label your document as being sensitive, what should go out and what should not, should have watermarks and not headers, what have you, right? So Copilot, as much as you have access to that particular document, Copilot will be able to tell, okay, this document is protected. It has certain, labels attached to it. And so it will also, always provide, even in the response it's giving you, it will always attach those sensitivity into it and put them into consideration. Then review, we've talked about it. Is the output safe to share? Until you are sure it is, please do not share. So you do not, your reliance on Copilot or AI should not, take you out off your feet. You may just end up being a disappointment when you should not. As much as it gives you the response, as much as you trust it, which is paramount, please trust your own judgment better, right? It would not take much to actually go through what it has given you. So you do not entirely blame it, right? So now, before you go and share sensitive information, be sure that it is safe to share to avoid that. I know Copilot does not replace data governance. That we want to talk about prompts. If you must send the prompts, I'll tell you for free. The prompt must go through these 4 segments. First, you need to have a pure goal, a direct goal. You cannot just go to say, help me create a Microsoft Copilot 365, or you just go and say, what is Microsoft 365 Copilot? It is generic. It will just give you as much information as it has out there, right? But once you have a goal and you tailor your prompt towards that goal, and then you give it a context, who are the people that this particular, let's say this presentation now, I was preparing it, let's say it's for technical people. I'll say it's for technical people. Maybe it's a pitch deck to sell the product. I'll say it's a pitch deck to sell the product. Whatsoever, I need to be able to tailor it to say, these are the people it is meant for, and this is what it is meant to do, or how it is meant to serve, so that I can tailor my response to suit the context of why I need it. Then source, where should it get the information from? Let's say you are searching about a particular organization. You know, other platform may have opinion about those organizations. You can decide to say, please do not give me any response out. Let's say you are searching about MTN. Do not give me any response outside of uh, MTN official website or handles, so that I do not go to my website and go and check for my own opinion on, and data is not lasting long, right? So you need to be able to also give it a source to an extent, especially when you are now using it within your environment. Do not just open it to anything. Reference a particular file, reference a particular meeting, reference a particular email. Trust the data it should use. Then the expectation. How do you want it to be? How lengthy? You are preparing a document. Should it be 5 page? Should it be 10 pages? How should it look like? Right? So that is very important. Example, create some pages, summary for leadership using this report. Now, in that sense, you have to attach executive objectives. I like the decision needed and the next action. Use a professional tone. You have told it everything that you need. You can just add in less than 250 words, in less than 250 sentences, in less than, however, so the prompt can be complete and, gives you the best possible response. Proposed by app, Teams, Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, SharePoint, Loop, what have you. We have a lot of them. Then again, we go to ready to use prompts. These are just some prompts that you can actually just use using the meeting transcript. No matter if probably at the end of this meeting and the transcript will be made available because it's recorded, you can just attach it and say, okay, based on this transcript, create a follow-up email for all attendees, include decision owners, due date, and blockers. Keep it professional and concise. It will give you something, and then you just send to everybody that has attended this meeting executive summary from what have you. You can just do whatsoever you want to do. These are just examples of prompts. Create with Copilot from blank page to polished work. The real power comes from accuracy, not one perfect prompt. Yes, accuracy, you need to be able to tell it, okay, refine, readjust, use this, be professional, you are too grammatical, make it less, make it 2 letters, make it 2 paragraphs, what have you. But then you describe what you want to achieve, you generate a first version. This is always the beginning of your work. Now, the first response you read through, you try to refine, adjust tone, depth, and structure. You format, convert it to, you can say convert to PDF, convert to Word document, what have you. Then you review facts, tones, and the sensitivity, and then share to relevant body that you need to response, right? Unless you feel it has given you what you actually desire, then you can stop. But if you feel, oh no, it's not there yet, let's continue. You just ask for continuous improvement until you get what you actually want. So inbuilt and custom agents, I've talked about this. We have coach, researcher, support deeper research, and cited analysis, help reason over data and explain patterns, knowledge agents, ask for my profile, size, and sources. Custom agents is a focused assistance for HR, IT policy, or support, anything at all. It's not just limited to these four, but just know that it is focused assistance that is tailored, built and tailored to perform particular tasks. Yes, I've been saying this. Agent visibility depends on the license, the tenant settings, admin policy, and then, of course, the rollout. Some agents I must have built in my environment, I've not rolled them out. So it's not expected for anybody to actually have access to them. Readiness before broad adoption. So Copilot rollout is not only a license task, it is also a governance, training, and measurement. We just need to just put all of these things we'll be saying so far into consideration. And then you have to train users how to use them. Yeah, we talked about feedback while our chat was, commencing. And then one of those things is a feedback link for us to get what you think about the usage, right? So all of these, I think this is majorly for administration. So yes, demo flow would carry out a demo. I think from here we'll just take questions if there are any, and then we'll just go straight to demo, right? I think I'm keeping to time. Okay, live demo, a simple sequence for showing Copilot value in today's theme sessions. Open Copilot, show profile label, and don't worry, this is basically for me, right? And then okay, I think this is if you would get this, I don't know how possible that would be. If you would get this presentation slide, you can use this to just, do a kind of demo for yourself. So Copilot's fanatic notes, the notes for the day. Copilot becomes most powerful when we combine clear prompts, trusted data, app context, and human judgment. Then prompts clearly, ground properly, and review carefully. That is when you make the most out of Copilot 365 or Microsoft Copilot, as the case may be. So, brethren, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would say we have come to the end of the theory, and now we'll be moving straight to demo, live practice. But before then, Aisha, please confirm if it's good to take question at this point before we move into the demo.
Yes, thank you very much, Paul, for diving us deep into what Microsoft Copilot or Microsoft 365 Copilot is all about. I think this is solid background information that we all will need to build further knowledge and further discussions on. Yes, I have one or two questions here from Busayo. I've tried answering in the chat area, though. I will just read that out, and then we'll now wait till the end of the session for the other questions for those who might want to air their question. But I'll read this out for you right now. Busayo Oloye is asking, what is the difference between Copilot and AI Foundry or Azure AI Foundry?
The difference. What is the difference between Copilot and AI automation? Similar.
Yeah, that's actually the second one. The second question is asking about the relationship between Copilot and AI automation, while the first is talking about the difference between Copilot and Azure AI Foundry.
Okay. So basically, I can see that you've even dropped some responses here, but I would say from my own end, I really use Azure Foundry a lot, right? However, I will tell you, Copilot, right, is more or less free. Even with your personal account, you can for basic research, just as we've said. can be free to begin with, right? I think you need Microsoft license to use it. Sorry, Azure, what am I saying? Azure subscription to use it, and not just, you know, uh, just free that you can actually use like that. Then I would also say that Microsoft Copilot is an assistant, like I've even defined it for anybody that is making use of it. For Foundry now, Azure itself is more or less a platform as a service. You remember when we were talking about the introduction to Microsoft 365, and then we talk about the services that they render. You most likely your SaaS, right? What was it called? SaaS, right? And then
As a
uh,
service.
software as a service, yeah. And then we'll talk about platform as a service, and then we'll talk about IaaS, infrastructure uh, as a service, and then we'll talk, okay, pass. Oh, sorry. Then, so if you now want to talk about Azure AI Foundry, like I was saying, is more or less a platform as a service, right? You can treat it as a platform for people who are developers or maybe AI engineers. From there, they will be able to actually build AI solutions, right? So I think with this, we can actually say limit the difference to this end or with this information, right? One is a platform, while one is a software.
Wait. Hello, Paul. Are you still there? Hi, Paul. Um, I don't know what's up with Paul, but I think he just I'll just try to check what's up with him. Oh, I think he's left the meeting. While we wait for him to rejoin. All right, let me just try to keep up the conversation. Yes, Paul was trying to explain the difference between Copilot and Azure AI Foundry. And one of the best ways I actually understand the best analogy I use in understanding Copilot, which is a Microsoft AI product, is thank God, Paul is here.
Yeah, so sorry,
Okay.
My system got kicked off. I'm just switching system quickly so I can jump back.
Right.
I'm currently on my phone now, but I've switched the system actually, so I'll
Okay.
be fully functional soon. All right. So as I was even saying, I noticed that you took over. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. So just permit me a few seconds to get everything started and running.
Right. While you are setting up, let me just continue so that we don't just waste the little few seconds of minutes that we'll be waiting for. So, okay, like I was saying, yes, I would actually like to understand it, Copilot on those three levels of the free version, and then the Copilot Studio, which is a subscription, just like we use a Microsoft Insight for subscription. There's a subscription for Copilot, and then the third one, Azure AI Foundry, is the consumption-based model. So on those three levels, let's see Microsoft Copilot chat. That's what we usually call it easily. Just call it Copilot Chat. With that, it's a free version. You can use it with your Microsoft account, free Microsoft account, or your Microsoft 365 license. So it's free. You can just chat, and it also has just like Paul explained in the beginning of the class. It has chat features, conversational AI features that you can ask questions. It can also connect with the internet to grab publicly available information or data from the internet to attend to your questions. That's the Copilot chat that is available with your Microsoft account or your Microsoft 365 account, or with a licensed account though. But without a Microsoft Copilot license, you cannot use Copilot Studio. So to now use Copilot Studio, you would it will give you a low code and no code environment for building Copilot agents and chatbots or conversational AI assistants that you can use within your Microsoft 365 environment. It can integrate with all the tools in your Microsoft 365 environment. It will use your own permission. Those are the agents and so on and so forth that uses your permission as a user, that has access to the files that you have access to, that will be able to carry out tasks that you are permitted or enabled to carry out. That's the Microsoft Copilot Studio environment that requires a license, a subscription. But AI Foundry is where you fine-tune models, you build AI models, ground them, fine-tune them. You use a particular model, either the GPT or GPT-4. You have different models that you can use to build models. So this is actually ideal for developers, for highly technical users who can build agents or AI products right from the scratch. This readily integrates with the Azure environment. So it uses part of your Azure credits. You use your Azure credits as its own subscription. It's a consumption-based model of the cloud computing billing system. So that is how that works. So on those three models, it's either to actually differentiate them, the free version, then the one that comes with a subscription, Microsoft 365 Copilot subscription or Copilot Studio subscription, and then the one that uses your Azure credits, that's the AI Foundry. So on those three levels, everyday user, no technical expertise. Second is mid-level technical expertise, just a little low code, no code. They be a business user that's in a business or enterprise environment. And then the third one for highly technical users, developers, and data scientists, etc., or even engineers. Thank you very much. I don't know if Paul is ready and available now to proceed.
Yes, Aisha, I'm just trying to sign into my system, So the system, I wasn't signing before. But yeah, I can just go ahead now. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, let me talk about the relationship between Copilot and AI automation. I think from my explanation, we already know what Copilot is right now. It is the software, right? It is the software. Why AI automation is like a series of processes or activities that we want to automate or we want Copilot to assist us with. Copilot is one that deals with the automation, like our everyday tasks that we don't want to be doing manually by ourselves. So we can actually automate it either with Power Automate, Power Platform, or even Copilot agents. We can put them to work to do certain tasks for us while we focus on more important tasks. That's what we call AI automation. AI automation can also be done using codes. Automation generally, you can use codes to achieve automation. You can even put Copilot and agents through to be doing some of these tasks for you while you focus on other things. That's just what automation is about. Making manual tasks, putting them up for AI systems to do at a particular time for you while you're busy doing other things. So Paul, you should be available right now.
Yeah, sure. I am. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Aisha. So just to recap, I would say the Azure AI Foundry, like I was saying, you need the expertise of being an AI engineer to actually use this to build. You do not really need all of those expertise to use Microsoft 365 Copilot. I'm not an AI engineer, right? But I can tell you that to an extent, I've been able to use Microsoft 365 Copilots to build solutions. And mind you, Microsoft 365 Copilots can do a lot of automation for you too. A lot of automation. So as much as you want to treat it as AI just assistant, it can also run a whole lot of automation for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me just close out some tabs on my system, and then
we'll get started to the demo. And after I must. Okay, yeah. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Your screen is visible, Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so I will just bold in my screen a bit, and then I'm going to bring up another profile. Let me bring this up. Oh, shit. These are some of the things I should have closed out. All right. So first thing, you go to office.com like this, or you go to M365 Cloud. You can come through here and then you sign in, or you can go to, okay, login.microsoft.com. And yeah, I'm just going to select an account. Okay, I hope I remember this password. Okay, this is a tech-tired account that I think, if not all of us, majority of us or people in the community have access to, right? So I will be using just in case you sign into your own environment, you would have the ability to be experienced that I'm going to be sharing with us right now. Let me authenticate, please. Okay. Oh, that's not. Should I have done that now? Okay, first and foremost, I would love to show you that when you open your Edge browser, either on phone or on your system, you would have access to this Copilot that is embedded in the browser, every Edge browser now, right? And if you are using Windows 11, you would also have access to this particular Copilot. Now, if you notice, this account that is signing here is a personal account, right? And so it is taking it like, hello, this is actually free of charge. You can use it for anything you want to do. And as you can see here, it can even read through my tabs, right? But this is not a breach of security. If it can actually see the screen, but if it's not something it should have access to, it may not be able to read the content of what is there, right? So yeah, you have it embedded right in your Edge browser. This now can be useful when, let's say, you are reading something or a document and you just need this to do something on that screen for you. You can just go ahead and while on your screen doing what you are doing, you can just be by the side making your research, and you can actually change its reasoning, right? So that's my think deeper, study and learn, search, right? You can just do this. This is his reasoning. So you can basically use this. You can as well use this. And even on your phone, on your Android phone, you can go to App Store. You download the Copilot application, which you can as well use as much as you would use the one on the Edge browser and this particular one that is here. All right. On your iOS, you can also go to App Store, the iOS store, to also get the application downloaded. So what I want to show us is this. Let me quickly just split this, and then I will come to this. Okay. So now I wanted to say something. I don't know if this is visible enough. Okay. This is my name, Paul Ogboriefor, and this is my name, Paul Ogboriefor. If you check directly beneath the name, you will see that on my right-hand side, you are seeing Microsoft 365 Copilot Premium, right? And then on my left-hand side, you are seeing Copilot Chat Basic. That is what you can see. Now, the basic is telling you that, oh, this guy does not have a license, right? However, he has a Microsoft license, and as such, because I have that license, I will be eligible to use Microsoft Copilot. That is the Copilot chat, right? And this guy here has the premium, right? My M365 Copilot Premium. And as such, you will be able to use it beyond just chat and chat. That is the essence. Now, if we, let me zoom out a bit. On the chat pane, right? On the chat pane, you see a co-work. But on this other side, what you can only see is chat. You do not have that flexibility of switching between work and just the charts. But over here, you can, I think this is even recent development. Ideally, it used to show just right here on the screen where you see chat and work. Obviously, this update happens every now and then. So it is also very, very important that you follow up with trend, and then a quick adoption to the changes they are making also does help a lot, right? Now, if you come to this other end, you will see that there are agents here, right? Let me come to chat first. There are agents here. Over here, I only have 2 agents. This ideally says, no, this is not even an agent. Over here, I only have 1 agent, study and learn, right? But over here, I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4. And then you see new agent here, you see new agent here. That means you can create an agent in free. You can as well create an agent in the premium account. You can view more agents. Let's view more agents in the both ends and see what we will have. This is talking to licenses now. And then if I don't know how I'm managing my screen. Now, if you check this place, you see that I have a few agents here, and most of them are not here. Over here, you see prompt coach. You can't find prompt coach here. Then you can actually search, right? You see prompt coach, but there are 2 distinctive agents that you can never find on this end to use. For example, the researcher. You'll never find the researcher to use here, or the analyst. You won't find them to use here. Meanwhile, for licensed environments, right? For licensed environment, you would have them automatically pin. You will have them pre-pin You see over here, it is pin. Let me zoom in a bit. You see over here, it is pin. You can't unpin it. You see over here, it is pin. Now, you cannot uninstall it. You cannot uninstall it. However, you can share. But even if you share with a user who does not have a license, the required license to use it within the environment, they will not be able to use it, right? You can't uninstall. Now, if you come to this other guy here, this is a solution. This is a custom agent. Now, if you come here, you will see that it is created by IT team, right? It is created by IT team. But this researcher now, the researcher is created by Microsoft themselves, right? So this automatically makes this a custom agent. I can decide to pin it. If I pin it, it goes up, right? No matter, ideally, the recent agent you use will always come here first, but any agent you pin will just be there. But I can come here and then I will unpin it, unlike the other ones. And then if I do this, I can install, I can check the about and all. That is how you quickly get to know about license and unlicensed environment that you would have access to. That is just on the lighter note. Now, the agent you can create from here, right? Let's say I want to create an agent. If I do a new agent here, if I do a new agent, and then I come over to this place, and then I do a new agent. This one is not even loading for me. Do I need a refresh? Let me refresh it and see. So what I'm just trying to say next for us to beat time, the flexibility you have in creating agents in a licensed environment, you do not have that flexibility in creating agents in this environment. And now I must tell you the differences between the agents that are being created there over the ones that are being created in Microsoft Copilot Studio. Now, in this particular environment, let me just switch carefully. In this particular environment now, if you are creating an agent directly from here, the agent is meant to just perform some light task for you. You just give something platform, right? For example, you can say that you just how right? And then hello, Aisha, are you there? Okay, you are muted. Please,
Yeah,
can
Paul.
somebody just give? Okay, you can hear me, right? Okay, I just wanted to be
Yes, yeah, it
sure.
was breaking at a point, but it's fine now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
My My browser is not loading, so I was wondering. I also have I think this is my browser's issue. So sorry, my system is messing with me. I don't know why it has to be dragging at this point. Oh my goodness. Please
Hello,
stay
Paul.
with us. Yes.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, I don't know why my system seems to be dragging, my browser particularly. So I just need to quickly close out some things. Let me go to Task Manager and then clear that out.
Right.
I need to, yeah, just I'm with you. Okay, I'm sharing my screen again. Okay, yeah. Can you see, please?
Yes, your screen shows.
Okay. So I was saying the agent you create here is quite different from the agent you create from Studio. Just for example, okay. So the agent you actually create here, like I was saying, they are just lightweight agents that just perform lightweight task for you, right? These are templates. You can actually make use of templates or what have you. But then again, you can just start by just typing something, email responder. I don't know, but just anything you can actually, do, and then you have started already. Like I say, first prompt, you are up there and doing something already, right? So what you actually create from there is just a very basic, right? Uh, Responder, you're developing an agent for an email responder based on a user typo. Yeah. So over here, it gives it a name. You can give it picture. I know we are not treating agents now, right? You ground it. This is where you ground it. You bring in some data that you have stored on your local computer. You bring some from your OneDrive. You can integrate your teams. You can just make anything, my email and what have you, right? So these are just the simple things you can create from here. You bring up a suggested prompt. And when the user wants to use the agent, they can quickly just say, okay, give me these prompts, and then they are good to go. It gives them the recommended prompts. But in agents, uh, just do this. Okay, so you can always preview. This is how it will look like. If you want to use it, they'll tell you draft a reply, make it trauma, make it this. Like I was saying, this one now is very generic because I did not give it context. I did not define my goal. I did not, nothing, no audience, no grounding, nothing. So it will be like very, very generic, right? And that is why it's giving me all of this. I did not make any modification. This is not the best approach, right? So for a user to do this now, you just say, draft a professional reply to this email. It is expecting you to attach the email, and then you do go and then you send. Oh, I've not published. If I publish it, you can, and then you reference your email as one of your grounding. You can actually call a email directly, and then it will have it, and then you can just say, yeah, reply to it without needing to copy and paste. Then you send, and then it will give you response. Just within 2 minutes. Although this is not refined, I have created an agent. I will just copy and then paste the stuff, and then it will work for me straight up, direct. Then over here, if you are creating agents, I have numbers of agents I've created over time, mostly on onboarding. Now, I just want to show you some of the things. I know somebody asked about automation, right? Some of the things that you can embed, right? I've used Azure automation accounts to create a solution before, and I needed it to be triggering using Copilot because I needed to integrate it to Teams. This is where I come to, right? I come to this place, and then I just integrate it and tell it what to do and how it should respond. You get? So over here, this is a source, is a document that says if an engineer would need an assistant, please give the engineer assistance only from this document. You must not say, because in my company now, there are maybe full staff are using black laptop, and then contract staff are using white laptop. The general public or the public internet does not know. If you go and ask the public internet to say, please, who uses black laptop because I'm assigned to prepare a laptop for a user, you will not be able to get the right answer. But this one, I say use this, so it will give it, okay, if the user is a full staff, give it a white laptop, give it a black laptop, and what have you, right? If you come to tools, you can introduce tools. You bring up your flows. These two now, they are flows. You can actually just do it to add a tool here. And then these are some of the tools that you can add. Outlook, Teams, all of these things, a lot, right? Prompts, you've not created any prompts, nothing. These are some of the things that you can actually integrate using Copilot Studio. Then you can also make two agents to be working together. Maybe after one perform a task, the other one should take over. Then I can just come and say, okay, add an agent. I will come here, select from the list of my agent. You see now this one is grayed out, and this one is not even enabled for me because it's not published. So it will only pick a published agent for me, so I can integrate it with my agent for the two to be working together. Meanwhile, knowledge, this is where the grounding lives. I want it to, I can add more knowledge. Where do I want to add the knowledge from? Is this from the public website? As a matter of fact, you can reference a particular website where you want it to be giving you information. SharePoint list, SharePoint document, library, SharePoint and site as a whole. Even the Azure AI search, you can bring it up. Dataverse, anything. All right, you can also manually upload from your local computer. Then topics. Topics is more or less an order of interaction to say, okay, let's say in the morning, if a user comes up, how should you act? Now, if you look at this topic, the first thing is the description. These two can handle queries like this: bye for now, bye now, goodbye, no thank you, goodbye. Now, if a user comes in, what this guy would do is, would you like to end our conversation? The boolean is always yes and no, right? Now, if the user say yes, this is a condition here, is equal to true. Okay, what should happen next? End the conversation. If what is it called? The response is no. Okay, continue like this. How do you continue? Go ahead, I am listening. Yes, say end of conversation. Then, yeah, if there is no answer or condition met, if it's not true or if it's not false, you should also comment this. As a matter of fact, in this instance, is not relevant. Note that this is a pre-built topics. You can always toggle them off, right? If you toggle that off, that means it will not be useful again in this particular agent. Meanwhile, I can also add my own topic. Now, in adding a topic, you can come to Copilot to say, describe what you want and this manner you want the agents to flow, and then it will create the topic for you. You can say, no, you want to create it from blank, and then you give it a step that you want it to go. Like that. Look at channels. This is another interesting part. Channel is where you want the agents to be integrated. You can build an agent. You integrate it to a public website. Let's say you have a website and you want to build a chatbot to be answering questions of users that are coming into the website, as you will always have an AI assistant in most of these website chatbots. You can as well do that from here, right? You can integrate to SharePoint anywhere at all, even WhatsApp, Facebook, but here you are having this is it diamond sign here means premium. There are other stuffs. There are, it usually requires rigorous configuration, unlike this one that are just straight and, direct, and you just publish. Monitoring, this is just to monitor the usage, and then the billing and what have you, right? I've not even used this for a while. So that is that for that. Now, I just opened this, right? So I wanted us to see how this agent will work, right? First thing I will do right on this call is, we cannot get, okay. So now this is it, right? This is a meeting. This is a meeting that we have attended. And this is the discussion we had. The attendees are these people, right? And this is what we have discussed fully. Now, I want to first of all just copy this out. I will copy this out, right? If I go to, should I put it in Word and leave it like this? Okay, let me just leave it like this. Then if I come to my guy here, I'll just close this. I'm not configuring anything today. And then I'll just do new charts, right? I will say, find the discussion. Okay, so sorry. The discussion of our panel. Let me just put it that way. And then I decide to enter. If I enter, okay, so, perfect. I have this in my OneDrive already, right? Now look at it. It said I found the discussion content in the file. So let's say I don't even know where I saved it before, but I have it there. You see where it goes to references straight up. So from here, you see the link where it says he found it, right? And then I can just go and open the document. Now this is the document. And truthfully, I don't even know where this is saved. As a matter of fact, I forgot that I already saved it in my OneDrive, right? Now, assign responsibility. Paul will do this, Paul will do that, and Paul will do the rest. So it just gives a heads on. Now, the next thing we want to do is, let's go there. There are weak prompts here. Tell me, okay, this is generic. Tell me about Microsoft 365 Copilot, right? If I now come here and then go over here again, let me duplicate this tab. And I say, this is chat, right? And I do tell me about this. This should even, anyway, it will be very, very broad. it will write a lot and a lot and a lot. But if I come here to say, create a beginner-friendly explanation for this, right? And I just open a new chat. You see, this will just give me a kind of generic answer. It's more or less using the public internet because I was just direct and open. Then create a beginner-friendly explanation of Microsoft 365 Copilot for members of the M365 community who are attending a 2-hour awareness session on Microsoft Teams. Then this one will be concise. It will know that, okay, there are people that are attending. The session is 2 hours. Why should anyone care? You know, where does Copilot work? Real life example. You see the way it structured it. Then it will just give me a heads up to say, okay, in Word, create a project proposal. It's asking me how to go about it one after the other. Now, from this conversation that we've had, I can come here. Obviously, this also was created by Copilot. I just wanted to say, okay, I was generic, to be honest with you. Give me a demo steps to use, right? And it gave me a whole lot, all of this. I just have to screen through, remove what I would not be needing, and then leave the rest. Then that is actually talking about a weak and strong prompting, right? Okay, yes. Using only the attached this, right? Structure the response under this heading. Now I want to say, using only the attached document, prepare a meeting summary. So I can just do this, right? And then I'll copy it. Now, don't forget that I'm referencing the document. This is still in charts, right? I can actually come to co-work. I'm even trying to understand this thing properly. I think you make the decision co-work to take care of the details, request access, plan, and let me do this. Where am I getting access from? User data. I think I'll need to come back to this. I'm just seeing this for the first time, to be honest with you. Then charts should have to, because that is using my work. Oh yeah, so this is the changes they made. So this is actually work IQ, right? Okay, thank you. So I've toggled it off. It's not grounded in my work now. Let me go and paste that particular prompt back. Title, Nigerian 365 community. Let me send this. Now look at something. Look at something. Do you observe? Aishat, can anyone unmute?
Hello, yeah.
Like, if anybody wish to speak, I would love them to just have a conversation here. Because one, I just wanted to know the difference, right? This is the note I also pasted in.
I think mic is enabled for everyone. You can just unmute if you want to interact.
Okay, so anyone who wants to speak, please, just the same prompt here, right? The same prompt here is the same prompt here, exactly the same thing, right? But look at the response and look at the response. Who can tell the differences?
Sorry, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Is anyone unmuting?
Somebody's hand is raised.
Yeah, I raised hand because of what question I asked in the past. Maybe I'm not really satisfied, but continue with this one. That's why I asked question.
Okay. All right. So the key difference is this one is referencing what we have in my environment, what I have in my OneDrive, straight up. Why the other one? Why this other one is just rearranging it for me, more or less me saying reorganize it. Now, if I now come to do using the attached this, right, create this for me for work and for what is it called? And then I do using this. This is for work and that is for the public internet. Okay. The meeting this. Now you see now that there'll be a slight difference. This one is referencing something. This one is not referencing anything. It's only making use of what I have sent here, right? And this one adds detail to this document so it can give more because it is well grounded. You see the session content will cover this. But you see session discussion summary. This is summary. Where's key decisions? So this one will definitely always be limited, right? This guy here. Then one thing, the last thing I would love us to do is to follow up email using the meeting notes, draft this in less than 250 words. Now look at something here. If I do this and send it, and then I do this and send. You see, I can actually do editing page in both. Editing page. So I can continue to page and start to do what I want to do. Now look at something. You see schedule prompt here, but there is no schedule prompt here, right? This is where it ends. I can actually schedule these prompts to be running at interval, right? At interval, I can say, okay, at 6 o'clock, run this for me. What do I want this to do at certain time? I think Joseph Afeso made a video on this prompt scheduling recently, right? You can actually schedule it, and whenever the time comes, it will automatically run on its own. Now, let's also again try new charts from no work. And then from this from this no work, you will see that what you have here is rewrite, create, summarize, find. And then you have other things like this. These are what are common in generative AI. But if you toggle on the work IQ, and then just wait for, let me just click or refresh. Now you see now that the prompts have become different. I can now see, you can now see files, emails, people, meeting. If I do this, right, who is this person? They want to ask me, who is Olive, right? That is, I have Olive in my environment. You see it picks it now, and I send. Now I say, based on your organization directory, Olive Okaku is an internal member, Microsoft 365 user within your environment. The profile indicates that she's working closely with you and is referenced in your organizational data. Available profile name, this primary work account, additional email contacts, account type, and all. From previous interaction and the directory explanation data, appears to be a close colleague with whom you collaborate regularly with. Now, this is a question in Microsoft Copilot Work Grounded IQ. Now I'm coming to this, who is Olive Okaku, the same thing. If I send, what this guy is going to do is going to go to the public internet based on our previous conversation. Oh, this is actually referencing our previous conversation. Let me just come to this guy here. If I come to this guy and search who is Olive Okaku, then you see, is a professional or public figure whose digital footprint is limited. What we can say about confidence is consulting business this, business that, right? It's just basically just telling you things that it can fetch from the public web. All right. Now, this guy now, all this is actually happening because I have this license. If I should come to these other accounts, to do new search, and I send this, and I say enter. It's going to be, there does not appear to be a widely known public figure named this, but profile suggests that this person is a professional with interest in technology and cloud computing, you know, and then it gives you a source. The source you can see is YouTube, LinkedIn, GitHub. Those are what you can see from here. You can actually just come and say, okay, LinkedIn, let me even see what they are talking about, LinkedIn for this person, and then it brings you up to the person's profile. But for a licensed, well-grounded stuff, it gives you who the person is directly to you. And then you can also reference emails. Now you want to draft email, you don't need to go over and start try to say copy and paste. You can actually say what should be on my radar from emails last week, right? And then if you send it, it should be able to read through your Outlook and say, okay, this is what should be on your radar. Then you can say, which meeting, what is my schedule like? What is my schedule like? So now look at this, you say the radar now, user onboarding assignments still need attention. Several bulk user this. Emails indicate newly created user we are assigned to engineers for device preparation, application installation, access configuration, and onboarding follow-up. Some assignments will automatically reassign because the original engineer was marked out of office. This notification specifically instructs engineer to update the preparation task and this, why it matters. Then the second email they are referencing for me to be on my radar is no DMARC is found for this account, no DMARC. This is also an automation that is run, built on my environment. On red Microsoft this is on red message. Now I can say this one, I check your calendar, but I couldn't retrieve any meetings results to either today or your upcoming schedule. Based on our conversation history to know you are presenting Nigerian 365 community on these days, right? But I cannot confirm it from my calendar. I can now say my unread. So you can actually do a heart, right? Once you do a heart, it gives you agent just in case you want to reference an agent or a document. If you want to reference a document, you do this /. If you do /, it gives you, these are the most recent stores are open, including people, including these. If you want to reference a particular file, you can come to file, and then you come, these are the files that some of the files I have. You can even just from here, and then you start searching, right? Then you can say emails. I'll say, do I have any unread email? So now this guy helps you to work directly, right? Now you say, I found 8 unread emails. 8 unread emails. Now I will say, based on criticality, which requires my immediate attention. Just in case you are a type of person who receives a lot of emails, and then you just wake up and then you see a lot of email, you don't know how to go about them, you just want to attend to the ones that are critical at the moment. It will just say, based on the already emails I found, I will prioritize them as follows. Then this one, Microsoft enter this, and then this high priority, you see them, immediate attention today, right? Because it's a critical issue, 2 directory synchronization errors. Then high priority this week, Azure Copilot agent access changes. Then this one, the priority is high. You can decide to let that go. This one is low. So you can decide to say, okay, you want to attend to this 4 first. You can just, from here, you know it's on red. You can just click on it, and then it will show you the email and what it looks like. You already see the email. You can now go ahead to say, open it in Outlook, right? You can open in Outlook. Now, while in Outlook, you can actually just say, okay, draft a response immediately. Oh, I think we are out of time. So sorry. I will do this, and then we'll call it a day for that. Okay, I can as well say respond to this. Oh, I don't need to respond to that, actually. Shouldn't. So if I decide to say, okay, I want to reply to this guy now, and I do reply all, right? And I do reply all, I can just come here, and then there's my Copilot. Okay, I can just say, you see it now, Alt high, and then I'll say request information, give update, however I want to make it, and then I'll just share. You can actually put your own, manual input, and then it will give you that response. This is happening like this, hello audience, simply because the email is not actually directly from a user directly. It's actually from a shared mailbox, right? So you can actually do a whole lot. Now I'm talking about, I was talking about pages. So yeah, you can say editing pages, then it becomes a page where you can make modification to the prompt, right? So it becomes more like a notepad for you to collaborate. You see now at the moment, it's only me that has opened this page. I can decide to say I want to share, or maybe, copy components, or, copy the link, and then I'll just share to whoever I want to share with. Then from there, I can decide to export it as either Word document or PDF. Like, there are a whole lot that you can explore using Microsoft 365 Copilot. If you are privileged to have access to either the license and even the free one, there are a lot you can actually do with the free one. If you have a Microsoft 365 license, anyone at all, if you are working in an organization, you can just create a Word document, right? Train it on how you respond to email, maybe to request, maybe for follow-up. Just make the document detailed. Go to create an agent, create the agent in a light way. Call that particular email and that particular what is it called now? That particular document to be its knowledge base, right? When you reference it, anytime you want to respond to email, just come over. If you come over, this, I'm not expecting it to give me, yeah. Okay. If you come over after you build the agent, if you come over, you can always open the agent. I do not have any custom agents here. So you can just do art, and then you come like this, and then you enter reply email, right? Reply this email. Then you may you don't even need to do reply, since the agent is already built on replying emails. You can put it in, okay, if you want to reply, make one concise, make one more detail, make one Yoruba version, make one whatsoever you want it. If you send the email once, it will just automatically generate those multiple response choice for you to pick from, and then you send it in your own handwriting and in your own manners. It doesn't have to copy the public internet to just give you a random kind of generic email that you'll be fine-tuning and fine-tuning. That is what it can do for you if you do not have the license at the moment. There are a whole lot, right? You just keep exploring and exploring. You keep discovering every day, just the same way I discovered this today. I'll tell you for free that as I speak with you right now, I do not know what this co-work does, right? But I'm beginning to think of things. After this call now, I want to check what it really is. I've requested them. Hello, so
Hello, Paul.
sorry.
Hi.
So yeah, that is it. Actually, I think I'm done, right? So yeah, what I'm just doing is to just make a finding on the co-work, and then I just discover how to toggle on and off the work and then the charts just while on the call, right? So there are lots to actually explore. If you have the time, you can sit back and explore as much as you can. On this, I think I will draw the curtain and I say a very big thank you to you and see you again next 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And please, let us give a clapping emoji or any other emoji of our choice to appreciate Paul Ogboriefor for coming onto this week's deep dive session, taking us through Microsoft 365 Copilot, introduction to Microsoft 365 Copilot. Thank you very much, Paul. Please let us encourage him. Thank you for coming. We'll be having him again the next time. That's like in the next 2 weeks when we'll come here again. So I want to appreciate everyone for coming. It's been a very nice experience with Paul and everyone here. Thank you all for joining, and I'm very, very sure that we all have got something out of this session. We'll be going deeper as time goes by. So thank you very much. Till we come your way again, I want to say, please have a very wonderful weekend. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Please, sorry. For anyone that may probably have questions that could not ask, you can reach out to me directly, or maybe if you do not have my contacts, you can check from the group, or you go through LinkedIn. Paul Ogboriefor is the same name. You can always, send your question across. I'll sure do well to respond to them as much as I can.
That's fine. That's fine. If you can't reach him, you can reach out to me, or you can just pen down those questions. We're coming back in the next 2 weeks. We still continue with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So thank you, guys. It's been nice having you here, and I wish you a very wonderful weekend. Bye.